Hello everyone, my name is Roberto Flores and here's a video about total body control to help your horse out in the trail or in the show arena. Helping your horse understand how to use its body will improve every aspect of its career. We're going to make sure that you guys get total control of their shoulders, of their hind end, making sure you get that suppleness and that softness inside their rib cage, and then also making sure you get that collection nice. Letting your horse's nose root up, it makes the back hollow, and it can start hurting after a while. They're not going to be as athletic as you can make them, and they're just not going to be balanced. So these are exercises I like to do with my horses forever because they're not machines, and they are going to have stiff days, they are going to have sore days, and they just can get rusty. All right, thank you all.
Hi everybody. Alright, so with me today I have Silver. We're going to work on head position. What I want to make sure is you guys are focused on the vertical head line, width, and impulsion. You want to make sure that she's getting that vertical line with her head. See how right there she goes past that vertical line? She does this a lot. She's so soft that if I do pull just enough, she's going to go past it. So you want to make sure that they're just like that right there, how that they're right on that vertical line. They don't tip it past that right there. She's doing good there. I'm going to just use very little finger pressure. Past it there. Past it as she didn't do good. Go a little bit too much there. So I'm trying to get her to be able to hold that vertical line while making sure she's holding it correctly. So we want her to hold it, and we want her to hold it correctly, and I do that by really pushing her forward. So we're going to work on these stops after we really get that head collected nicely and she's given into those reins. I want to make sure that my horse stops really good. I like to make sure that they think of backing up when I ask them to stop. So what I mean by that is when I say whoa, I want them to hurry up to that stop because they know that they have to back up. So if you can see my hands, every single time I ask for that stop, I'm not going to pull my elbows all the way back. I'm just going to squeeze my hands like I'm just squeezing toothpaste, like I'm just squeezing the reins in my hands. I'm not actually pulling at all. You might have to pull a little bit in the beginning, but ideally you want to get to the point where all you have to do is just squeeze. And then I'm going to make sure I sit deep in that saddle. I make sure my legs come off because I ride with my legs on, and then when I sit, my legs come off, and I keep my legs off until she backs up. When she backs up, I reward her by stopping, hands down. I like to think of whoa, sit, and pull, and that's the order I do it in. It's a millisecond from each other, but you want to make sure you're doing that order because your horse isn't always going to be able to hear you if there's loud noises around, but they always can feel you. So you want to make sure your horse thinks of backing up, so that stop, you can either get that slide stop because they're just hurrying up. Alright, so we're going to work on our spins. We want to make sure that your horse knows that it's a forward movement. You don't want your horse thinking that it's all about staying in one spot and lifting up their whole front end. You want your horse to think of it as a forward movement. So I like to make sure I get that spin going and I push them right out of it, so they're more than willing to do it again because they know they're not going to be trapped. You can also sit in the saddle doing a side pass, spin, side pass. This really gets their front legs over their inside leg. So Silver isn't a naturally talented spinner, so this exercise works good with her to make sure she gets that left leg or that right leg over that other leg in that spin. Side pass, and then spin, side pass. Alright, so we're going to work on the shoulders, making sure she really gets off my leg there. See, my right hand is forward, my left leg is on, my right leg is off, and I'm trying to make sure she really moves that shoulder for me, and I'm going to take her out of it and just go in a circle to let her know that she did good. But you want to make sure you have one hand out telling her what to do while you tell her how to go with that leg. So my right hand is going to be up front, my left leg is going to be on her, pushing her. My left leg is a little farther in front. And then if I need a little bit of gas, I'll use both legs a little bit more with that right leg. I'll take her out of it again. nose is out with that right rein. My left hand is up front to make sure I still hold her with that left hand. My right leg is pushing her. Now you do want to make those circles a little bit bigger. In the beginning, I like to make sure my horse just knows how to do it so they don't get over stressed with nitpicking about everything. So if they make a small circle, they make a small circle, but I want to make sure that they do it, and then I'll nitpick about the size of the circle. So we're going to do the rib cage now with the side pass. So I really want to make sure my horse's rib cage are limber, and I want to make sure I can be able to move them. You don't want your horse to be tipping their nose in or out. You want them to be straight, but getting off of that leg. See how she tips that nose to that left right there? Your guys is right. You want to make sure that she's straight. You can start at the walk and then go into a trot. It's a good side pass there, and then walk right out of it. Focusing on one thing at a time. You don't want to overload your horse with too much material in the beginning. Teach them what you're trying to teach them, give them a reward, and then move on. And then you can fix it once they start getting the hang of it. She's moving off my leg here. These are circles with side passes, kind of how I like to think about it. I push her off my leg there, we go back into our circle here. Push her off my leg there, go back into the circle here. Push off my leg there, it's my right leg, go back to the circle. Push off my leg, go back into the circle. So we're going to work on this hind control. I want to make sure that your horse can go backwards with their nose inward in the circle, and they can back up with their nose out of the circle as well. So I think here we're going to keep the nose inwards. Let's see. Okay, I'm taking the nose out. So while I'm taking the nose out, my right leg is going to be where it is, and I'm going to use my left leg to move the shoulders first. You do want to get your horse to back up with, you also moving the butt more than the shoulders, but I think it's a little bit easier to teach them how to back up in a circle with moving their shoulders first. It's a little bit easier that way, so I'll use my left leg a little bit more here to move those shoulders out, and then I'll use my right leg to get that hind end to move more. So now I'm using more of my right leg to move the hind end over more than I was doing before with my left leg trying to get the shoulders over. You want to make sure your horse backs up with their nose in and out. Alright, so we're going to do it here with our nose outwards, I believe. I'm going to use my right leg to move those shoulders over, and then I just walk out of it. But again, start with the shoulders. Once they start getting the idea, then go to the hind end. Alright, with the hind control, you want to, or here I'm exaggerating it so you guys can really see what I'm doing. Left leg to push that butt out. I bring my legs farther, a little bit back. And right leg a little farther back to push that butt out. So if I want to go to the right, I'm gonna want that right butt to stick out. And I'm gonna use my left leg here to stick that right butt outwards. Now if I want to go the other way and elope, I'm going to stick the left butt cheek out, and I'm gonna use my right leg to swing it over. So my right leg swings that butt over. This makes that one shoulder closed and opens up the other shoulder to get the correct lead. So what I mean by that, so we're gonna go to the right here. Stick the left or the butt out to the right, and that opens up that right shoulder, so now she has to get that right lead. Stick that butt out to the left, now it opens up that left shoulder, so now she has to pick up that left lead. So when you stick out that butt in whichever direction, it's closing the other door of that shoulder, so now the only other option is to go in that correct lead. So if you're going to the left, you would stick that butt out to the left, and it closes the right shoulder, but it opens up that left shoulder lead, so now she only has one option. Doesn't make it too confusing. We only get that by really making sure you limber up those sides. So we're going to go back to this trot. We're going to side pass the way we came, and then we're going to go back into that lope. So what I mean by that is if we're loping to the right, we're going to then trot to the right. Yes, we're loping to the right, we're going to trot to the right, and then we're going to pick up the lope again. So we're loping here on the right lead, we would trot, and then pick up the lope again. Working on those transition. So once you guys have worked with those hips and the shoulders and the rib cage, this counter canter is going to come a lot easier because you have full control of their whole body. So I like to start this counter canter straight line like I did there, so it's not going right into it and makes it too difficult. Putting it in a straight line is just a little bit of an easier start, and then you go right into this counter canter. My left leg is going to be a little off, my right leg is going to be just keeping the pressure on her so she doesn't want to get off of that counter canter lead, and I'm going to then take her right out of it to reward her for doing good. You want to think of that outside leg as your gas pedal, and that inside leg as, you know, the pedal that holds her there, so she doesn't fight the urge to do what is correct, which is go into that correct lead. So if we're going to the right and we do our counter canter, we don't want her to be on the left lead if we're going the other way. All right, so we're going on the right lead. We're going to go straight, and then we're going to go towards the left. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to make sure I go a little straight. I think I do it right here. Put that left leg on her, so it keeps that counter to the right. So now we're going to the left, keeping the right lead. My right leg now, which is not your left, and there's my right leg now, that's my gas pedal. So if she starts to slow down, make sure you really push the horse forward so that they don't stop on you or they don't switch that lead and surprise you. You don't want them sneaking up on you, so use that leg as your gas pedal and your other leg to hold them, and then reward them by taking them out. Good job, Silver.
Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. I really hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys did like this, please give it a like. Share it across everywhere, and God bless. All right, let's go ride.